Hello, lovely listeners out there of this podcast. Welcome to episode 32 of Take It With a Grain of Sand. We're your hosts, Mickey P.
And Ricky P.
And boy, oh boy, we got a show for you today. We've got, 3 segments? We got 3 segments.
Yeah, the usual.
The usual. Except maybe not so usual.
Maybe change things up a little bit.
There might be a special surprise.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. But before any of that, we would like to wish you a Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. We hope that 2025 treats you well.
Yep.
And is there anything else we need to say up top?
We have a lot of plans going forward in 2025.
Do we?
You know what? We don't even know. If we don't know, then y'all don't know.
No, they definitely don't know.
Okay.
Because we don't know.
Okay. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started with the first segment.
For this segment, we're going to do what has become a recurring segment on this podcast, story time. And this time, Ricky's got a story for us. What you got, Ricky?
Well, Mickey, I will classify this as one of the weirdest calls I've ever experienced. So we're recording this segment, I would say like November 29th.
Yeah.
This happened earlier this month, probably like November 4th. And still to this day, I'm still having questions over what I actually heard. So, well, to give some further context, I share this phone number with this guy. Now, I begin some robot
text.
text.
Phone number?
Yeah, well, people actually text me this name, or actually call. I get a lot of calls. This number was actually sold. I don't think I would say this person owns this number anymore. He probably sold it, which is why I'm getting all these calls and texts. Now, I know this guy's full name, but for the sake of anonymity, I'm just going to call him Thomas.
Okay.
So, I'm getting calls and texts from Thomas all the time. Whether they be just some wrong numbers or even just some scam calls, I'm just getting these calls. Usually I'll usually hang up because my phone always has, because Apple, made their iPhones to where they could actually detect spam. But this time, when caller IDs, when I saw on the caller ID, it was just a number. And usually I would hang up, but I was like, why not? So I took the call. The first thing I heard was some girl in a very worried, frantic state saying, like, please help me. And then a couple seconds later, a guy, calls and it's like, hello. And then I was immediately questioning, it's like, yo, who was that? Like, what was that just now? And then the guy was so confused, like, what are you talking about? It was like, oh yeah, this was just a girl just asked for help or something. Now, at that time, I thought this guy was just messing with me. This was just some sort of prank call or something. Then a couple seconds later, he was like, what? And then I was like, what? It's like, yo, did you actually really hear that? It was like, no. It was like, he was hearing, it's like, police sirens in the background on his end. So then we were both just like questioning this phenomenon. Well, I mean, the guy on the other end, he was actually really calling for Thomas, and I was saying, well, this was a wrong number. I was getting to that, but then something else happened. And he was like, "Did you hear that?" It was like on his end, he was just hearing like this officer telling someone to shut up,
Ah.
and in like a really abrupt state, and I thought it was weird until it actually dawned on me. It was like this wasn't him doing this. I don't really think it was him doing this. And it wasn't me doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so it was like someone, it was like a third party on the line. It was just playing these weird, creeping messages and stuff. Because I didn't hear any siren. I didn't hear any police.
I think we need to back it up a little bit, Ricky. Who was the guy that you're talking to?
I don't know who that guy was.
Do you think that's in some way connected to the woman asking for help?
No.
These are just separate incidences?
No, this is a separate instance. This is the same call. And it's...
Oh.
Yeah, it's all in one call. And it's like, him and I were hearing these weird audio. I think there was something else that actually happened. I think I actually on like his end, the girl was actually really screaming, and it was actually he involved. And then he was asking me, I heard that. I said no, I didn't really hear that at all. And then we both kind of just came to the conclusion that someone had to have been on that line on the call. It was actually really playing this audio for some unknown reason. And it was just like we just kind of laughed it off. Like during this whole entire thing, it was like this weird sort of call, something that I don't think he ever experienced. It's something that I know I've never really experienced before.
Interesting.
Yeah. Still, to this day, I have no idea what I've actually experienced, but it's something that stayed with me for all these weeks. Something I can actually, physically hear right now.
Have you got any more calls for Thomas?
No.
Since then?
No, I haven't been really getting any calls ever since.
But it's just so weird that this is happening now because you've had your number for a while.
Now, this Thomas stuff has been going on for about, I would say, it may have been actually going on, ever since I actually first got a phone. But I've been
never mentioned it.
Oh no. It's just some stuff I've been just keeping to myself lately because I just kind of thought it was weird. I mean, as long as I could still be able to actually make calls, texts, my phone's not really hacked, I don't really mind it too much. I started noticing all that stuff happened for like about 3 years now. But usually the time when I actually answer the phone, it would just be like a beep at the end, and then you could hear this stereotypical Indian accent.
Indian accent.
Yeah, asking about healthcare benefits. Usually the time I hang up, but then sometimes I kind of play along with this old voice, kind of say yeah, and then I just kind of hang up on mid sentence. But never in my life I've ever encountered a call like this.
I'm really trying to understand, like, okay, so you're on the phone with some guy that was not looking for you, looking for whoever used to have your number.
Yes.
And then you're hearing some type of dispute or something, some type of disturbance in the background of the phone call.
Yeah.
And the other guy's saying he's hearing it, but it's not actually happening on his end.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Just don't even try to actually make any sense of it, because I've been trying to do so for weeks. I can't make any sense of this.
I just feel like it had to be that guy was doing it, or it was either really happening wherever he was, or he was playing something. It had to be. Because you would know if there was another party on the line. It would have been on your phone.
Yeah, I would.
You would have had to merge the calls together. You have to do that manually. You can't just be in a three-way call or the other person merge the call with someone else.
Yeah, I would. That would have actually made sense.
It had to be the guy. This
Yep.
was not just random noises. He was doing it.
Well, he had to have actually been a good actor or something because his confusion actually sounded pretty genuine. Like he didn't really know what was going on either.
Who knows? Maybe he does this all the time. He's trying to mess with Thomas.
Yes.
Maybe he's some type of prankster.
Yeah, but whoever it was, that was a very elaborate prank because that actually really got me really confused. I wasn't even scared or anything. It didn't really concern me. It's just I was just trying to question him.
Yeah, that is really strange, but I think, let us know in the comments if you've gotten anything like that, because I've never heard of anything like that. Yeah, because I don't think anyone had my number, my current number because I got a new number a few years ago, and I don't think I've received any calls meant for someone else or text or anything. So I don't think anyone else ever had my number before. So I've never experienced this. Even with my old number, I don't think I've ever gotten anything like that. I'm really trying to think, and I don't think I've ever gotten anything like that. But I knew the person that owned that number before me, and people would call for her. It was our great grandmother. It was her number that was transferred to me. And so people would call me looking for her, but it wasn't like anything weird. I'd be like, yeah, she got a new number.
So
I don't know what it is.
So she didn't really get any like scam calls.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. It was a long time ago, but yeah, I don't think I ever got anything weird. It was just like, is she there? No. Sorry. Goodbye. There was never anything strange about it, so I've never experienced it. But maybe someone in the comments you can say, is this maybe it was supposed to be part of some type of scam or something that we're not aware of? There's all kinds of scams out there.
Yeah,
People
they
doing
are.
crazy things, especially with AI.
Yes.
So perhaps it's something related to that.
Could be. And welcome back to another reoccurring segment called Grind My Gears. So Mickey, what grinds your gears?
Ricky, my gears are really grinded today. I'm telling you. My gears are grinded down. I need new gears at this point. They're beyond repair. That is how grinded my gears are. What's grinding my gears today is a little concept I like to call corporate oversight.
What does that mean?
That is, these companies, I know you don't work in an office. There's like, when you work in an office, there's certain, what they call office politics that go on. There's certain things that you do and you say, and things you don't do and you don't say, and just a certain way that you have to behave in an office setting that might be a little bit different from other, work styles.
Yeah.
There's just a certain way that you have to carry yourself when you work in an office, and
Yeah.
a lot of it comes from office culture. And at my company, it's no different. I work in an office, and there's a lot of that, but a big part of what we do day to day and what we deal with from the corporate overlords is oversight. It's a lot of being watched. We're carefully monitored from the moment we enter to the moment we leave every day. There's a
Mm.
lot of monitoring down to where I have to track what I'm doing all day. How much time I spent doing certain things, what time it was, and why I was doing it. Every second that I'm there, I have to keep track of these things.
Okay.
And you know what? I've been doing that since day one that I got the job, which was about 5 years ago, and I've gotten used to that. I'm perfectly fine with that. It's whatever. I'm used to it.
Okay.
And I also know they have never confirmed this, but I'm about 90% sure that they're able to remotely look at our computer screens anytime without us knowing.
Yeah, I figured that was happening.
So there's also that kind of oversight. Now, let me fast forward a little bit to during the pandemic, we were working from home. Now, the
Yeah.
oversight was still happening, all the constant monitoring, of course, but it did feel like there was also a level of independence because we weren't in the office. They couldn't literally see us all the time. They could see our screens, they knew what we were doing, but I don't think that I know that they couldn't actually see us in our homes. So we did get like a certain level of freedom that we had never had before, us as coworkers.
Yeah.
And it was very nice. And I'll tell you what, if you've never worked from home, it's a great lifestyle. Like it is truly just it's just the best. It was the best. Just getting out of bed. I would like my routine was like I would just get out of bed, I'd brush my teeth, and then I go to my computer and clock in.
Yeah.
And then I get up, maybe get a cup of coffee, sit back down, do some work. And then on my breaks, sometimes I would actually go into my bed and take a nap.
Hmm.
I could go to bed if I wanted to. Like on my breaks, of course, I worked. But I could get into bed and take a nap. I would eat my lunch on the couch and watch the TV. Also sometimes on my breaks, I would get on my PlayStation and play games.
Yeah.
And then when I got off work, I could just walk right back over to the couch. No commute. My commute was 2 seconds. What a lifestyle. I didn't have to get dressed. I didn't have to look any kind of way. I could get food delivered while I was here. Anything delivered, really. I didn't have to worry about my packages getting stolen if I ordered something because I could just bring it in right then
Yeah.
and there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it was just the best, and I was spending nothing on gas. I wouldn't leave my house for like 2 weeks at a time. I would go out, get my groceries. Sometimes I might need to get a haircut. And that was the only time I left the house. It was like 2, 3 times a month I'd leave my house. It was fantastic. But now let's fast forward to January of 2023 when they forced us all to come back to the office.
Yes.
Man, we were sad that it had come to an end. After about 2.5 years, our fun times had come to an end, and they told us we were no longer allowed to work from home at all. Not even on a hybrid schedule, like just 5 days in office all the time. And it was really disappointing. And so now here we are, almost 2 years into being back in the office, and we've gotten some news. Now here's where the grinding my gears comes into play.
Okay,
We've
finally.
we've gotten some news. What do you mean finally? I had to set the stage.
It just took too long. 7 minutes of that, of the full explanation?
I had to explain. I had to lay down the foundation.
Alright.
Here's what grinds my gears. A few weeks ago, a higher up in my department, the highest person current that I see on a regular basis, it's my manager's boss, um, brought us all into the big conference room upstairs to give us some news. And she told us that we were here in a few months, they're getting ready to open up a new option for us to work from home again.
Oh, that's
And
pretty good.
we were very happy until she gave some more information on how that was going to work. Of course, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Isn't that what they say? The
Yeah.
hand that don't bite the hand that feeds. No, that doesn't apply
No,
to this
that's not.
situation.
The first one was more relevant.
It's like a double-edged sword, okay? So
Mm.
here's the downside. You will get to work from home either on a hybrid or a full-time schedule potentially. However, we will be given special laptops that have software that keep the camera and microphone on the entire time you're working so that you can be monitored all day in your house. They can see you and hear you in your house.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Can you imagine that? And you can't
Oh,
see them. And it's going to be recorded as well for, future reference if you break any of the rules.
what are the rules?
Well, one of the rules is you have to be alone because
Okay.
if anyone else enters your screen, it's just not good. They don't want that. They
Mm.
don't want anyone in your workspace. If you live with other people, you need to have your own workspace. You can't be working in the living room or the kitchen if there's other people in your home because they might walk by. That doesn't work.
Okay.
See, when we were working from home before, none of that was a thing. You could work wherever. If you were going on vacation and you didn't want to take time off, you could take your computer with you if you wanted to and just work.
Yeah.
That is not going to be an option this time. You could even work from like a Starbucks or whatever, like wherever you wanted to. That will not be an option this time. You need to be in your house and you need to be alone. Okay?
Okay.
So that's one of the rules. And I don't think I think we're like not going to be allowed to like listen to anything. Like right now we can wear earphones. We could probably wear earphones cuz the microphone's not going to pick that up.
Okay.
And you can't have your phone out though at all. You cannot have your phone by the desk that you're working at. And I think that that's a little ridiculous because we worked from home before. We were using our phones, so I don't get it. And they said that the way that they're going to do it is randomly while you're working, you're gonna have to like pick up the computer and like scan your desk to make sure there's no like contraband.
Wow.
You gotta show the corporate overlords that you don't have your phone or anything that you're not supposed to have at your desk. It's crazy. And so, and it's just so then it just feels like, okay, so while I'm working in my home, I'm gonna also have to like sneak around to do things. Like right
Yeah.
now, if I want to use my phone, I have to go to the bathroom. Unless I'm on a break, I want to use my phone between my breaks. I got to go to the bathroom because they can't do anything to me in the bathroom. But I didn't have to worry about that at home. But now I would have to still do the same thing. I'd have to sneak off to the bathroom in order to use my phone in my own home.
Yep.
That's crazy. So it then now that once we were all of that was explained to us, a lot of people were really like, okay, I don't even want to do it. And it is optional. You can just keep coming into the office. It is not mandatory that you participate in this program, but you would have to sign an agreement that you agree to all of these rules before you do it.
Yeah.
But you could not sign it and just keep coming to the office. You're not fired if you don't do it. And see, this is where I'm extremely conflicted because ever since we came back to the office, I've been like, I want to work from home so bad. Working from home was the freaking best. And I just want to go back so bad. And I've been looking for remote jobs. I've been applying to other remote jobs and I haven't gotten anywhere. So like this opportunity feels like on one hand, it's exactly what I've been asking for and what I've been wanting for 2 years. And then on the other hand, it's like, what do I want to deal with all this stuff? And there, I do have, like, most of my coworkers have said that they're not going to do it.
Mm.
I mean, at least the people on my team, that's who all I've talked to about it, which is, I think there's 6 or 7 of us. Um, Most of them don't, they're not even gonna do it because they don't want to be policed in their own homes, which is completely reasonable.
Yes.
I totally understand, but then I'm just like, I've been saying I want to work from home for so long. I've been asking for this. And corporate knows that this is what we've been asking for, this is what we've been wanting. So then they're like, here it is. But you gotta, here's the caveats. But this is what you wanted. But you can't have everything you want the exact way you want it. There's got to be a catch. Here's the catch. We're going to look at you in your house, which means that you also need to be dressed as well. You don't have to be dressed nicely like what you would might wear in the office, but you can't be
Mhm.
naked because they can see you.
Eh.
So you gotta be at least like in a sweatshirt and maybe some pajama pants or something. You can't just be in your underwear because they can see you. Which that also removes some of the enjoyment of working from home. I'm going to put on clothes every day. That was one of the things I liked. I didn't have to worry about that back then. That was one of the best parts. I think they'll also be monitoring how much you get up and sit down as well. You better not be getting up from your desk very much, which I didn't used to. I know, I think some of this is coming from the fact that when we worked from home before, there were people doing the wrong thing. You
Yes.
know, there were people who would, do housework after they clocked in. There were people who would cook, like they clock in and then get up and, make an omelet or whatever they were doing. So they weren't working. Um, all that kind of stuff, like leaving the house to go do something else after you clock in. Like people were acting like they were at home when they worked from home, when you're supposed to be acting like you're at work.
Yes.
And I think that that's kind of ruined it for a lot of us. It's just the fact that there were people doing the wrong kind of stuff. But I mean, for the most part, I wasn't doing Most of the, like I would sit down and just work until my breaks. I put on a podcast out of my speaker. I fix my coffee. I sit down and I'd work. But my colleagues were not, the thing is, a lot of them have quit. I think I don't know exactly who the culprits were. I just can't imagine it's anyone that we still have right now. I think the
No.
people that my current coworkers are were the ones who were doing it right. We're a very small group now. A lot of people have quit since then. I think it was some of those other people, if I had to guess, and like based on what I know, I think it was those other people who were doing all that other stuff and like
Yeah.
weren't working correctly. But because of that, it doesn't matter that they're gone, that the problems are gone. We still have to pay for that. But here's the other piece of the information. There's another, in another department in the company, there are people who have already tested this system. They're already using it. They were the first to get access to it. And they said not a single person declined to follow the rules. They all agreed and signed the agreement, and they were all doing it, and they all like it. They've already been doing it for months, and they like it, which we all found extremely surprising. Like no one declined to live by all of these rules in their home. Of however many people, I think it was probably like a dozen that they chose to test it with, they all just agreed to it and did it.
All right.
And so that makes me feel like maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's not as bad as it sounds, you know? Because other people are doing it and they're fine with it. So maybe it's not so bad. And I want to work from home. I'm going to try it. I'm telling y'all right now, as soon as it's available to us, probably um this spring or so, as soon as it's available to us, I'm going to try it. I'll report back.
Okay.
Unless I get another job before then, because what I would prefer is a job where I can work from home and they're not staring at me.
Yes.
Uh, I would prefer that, and I am actively working to make that happen in the meantime. But if it doesn't work out between now and then, and they give me this opportunity to work from home, I'll give it a try. I'll sign their agreement, give it a try, and report back to you on what it's like to be stared at in my house through my computer. And that's what grinds my gears.
Man. Mm. Well, from what I'm actually really hearing is, I don't really think it's worth it all that much. I don't want to be stared at. Well, at the same time, it's like, you know, I personal projects that I actually work on my laptop. Usually, time I'm always just to be dressed in like regular plain shirt and shorts. I don't really feel comfortable, sitting in the chair that I'm sitting in right now doing the podcast in like my underwear, nothing else. It just, I don't know, it's kind of, I don't really feel that comfortable. So that part I'm okay with. I don't have an issue with the dressing. It's just that I don't, the part where they're just staring at you, I don't really like that part all that much.
It's creepy.
Yes, it is.
It's just straight creepy.
Oh, yeah, and also, there's also the other part. You have to actually keep your house, as tidy as possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna scan your desk. They're gonna look at your desk, and that means that you can't have any personal items on it that you don't want the people to see.
Yes.
So you would have to keep a very tidy workspace So I've got a lot of personal stuff on the desk that I used to work on that I would need to just find another place for. I need to move all of it because I don't want my company to see all of my stuff. It's not their business.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. Yes.
But um, so that's all I have to say about that.
All right. So how about you listeners? Let us know what you think. Have you ever are you working a job where there's any kind of system like this? Would you do it if it was offered to you? Um, yeah, let me know what you think, because I'm in kind of a conundrum. Because I've also had people tell me I shouldn't do it, because it's wrong. But then on the other hand, I want to work from home so bad.
Yeah.
So I'm a little conflicted. So let me know what you think. You got advice for me in the comments. You gonna say something?
Uh, I don't know what else to say, except for the fact that we're on camera now.
Yeah, we're on camera.
It's kind of weird.
BS. We've never done this before.
No, of course not. Well, I mean, it is. Well, by the time you're seeing this, is at the new year.
It's 2025.
Yep.
But while we're recording this, it's New Year's Eve. It's 10:13. We are counting down to the new year. And we decided to do a special end of year segment where we talk about our Christmas.
Yes.
And we could only do that with you looking at us for some reason.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So let's get started. Christmas. It was a week ago. Um, I guess we should start from the beginning.
Yes.
Our traditions. On Christmas Eve, we have Christmas Eve dinner, and that's dinner.
Yeah, it's just standard dinner.
It's dinner. So that's our tradition. It was something I started. I think I was in like middle school when I started that,
Probably.
and we still do it. So how about we get to the good stuff? Christmas Day. Um, what did you? Where should we start, Ricky?
Um, well, start with the gifts.
How about we talk about the gifts? The gifts were great this year. I Well, what did you get?
Well, I got a really good game. Well, I wouldn't really necessarily say it's an alright great game. It was like a game that I was actually wanting to actually get for a while. It's called Watch Dogs.
Okay, what else?
Well, that's kind of pretty much the highlight.
What else
What else?
did
Well,
you get for? We're talking about the gifts.
okay, look. That was highlight number one. Highlight number two was tickets to a basketball game
From who?
from you.
Exactly. Let's get it clear. And not just a basketball game, the NBA.
Yeah, I know that.
You know I'm telling the audience,
The audience knows about the NBA.
but they don't know that the tickets were for the NBA. The NBA is not just the only basketball there ever is.
It's the important one.
You didn't say that. You just said tickets to a basketball game.
Yeah, well, people, when I say basketball game, you're supposed to assume it's supposed to be for the NBA.
Why would you make assumptions?
It's the NBA season.
Ricky, it's a podcast. We're supposed to explain what's going on.
They know.
Now they know because we got you to tell the details.
Need to know the details. Okay, okay. Not only that, I did get a shirt from also the same person about the Warriors. It's one of my number one favorite team.
Warriors t-shirt.
Now, next thing I actually want to actually get is a Draymond Green and Klay Thompson jersey.
Draymond. I don't even know who they
I
are.
told you about Draymond Green.
Yeah, I don't remember. Are they on the Warriors?
Yes, they're on the Warriors.
Okay, I've never. I don't.
Of course you don't. The only player you know is Steph Curry.
Yes, I'm very familiar with Steph. I had a dream about Steph that we were at the gym. I was at the gym. I was at the gym and Steph Curry was there. And I was like, this is weird. I don't go to the gym.
Yep.
All right. Is that it?
No, that was the only highlights I can really think of. I mean, I got like another gift, but I guess we'll just explain that later. What about you?
Let's see. I received so many nice things for Christmas this year. I
Yes.
I got a doorbell camera for my apartment. That's been really cool.
Yeah.
I got a couple of vinyls. I've got a very nicely growing collection. Some gift cards, some clothes. I got myself this Apple Watch. Very nice. Let's see. What else did I get for Christmas?
Yeah, well, let's get Christmas.
What else did I get, Ricky?
I want you to say it.
Ricky got me a PS5 for Christmas.
Yes.
That's very cool. Um, I guess that's the big highlight, the big ticket item.
Yeah. And
Um,
and the PS5 is right over there.
it's right there right now for temporary purposes for this evening, and I'm
Yes.
taking it back to my home where I can play it. I also got a Paris Hilton air fryer. That was cool. Yeah, I think that kind of sums up all of my presents. I got myself this sweatshirts from Skims,
Yep.
and I like that as well.
That's great. That's great.
What is this other thing that you were coming back to?
Candles.
Candles. Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's come back to that. Um, so I would say, how about we take the gift portion and rate it out of 10?
Okay.
I'd say this year my presents were about a 10 out of 10. I don't think it gets much better.
Yeah.
There you
Let's
go.
say 9.5.
5.
No, I said
Oh.
9.5.
Okay, 9.5. All right. Then I'll drop mine down to 9.7.
Mm.
Doesn't get a whole lot better, but it could be. But I think that, we definitely got very lucky this year. We're in a good place to get good gifts for
Yes.
Christmas.
Yes, we were.
So then we did our gifts and then we went to our yearly family reunion. It was supposed to be yearly,
Yeah.
but this was the first time we had it in 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
We had stopped. The last one was in 2019. We didn't do it in 2020 because of COVID, and it just never really got back together again until this year. So it was like it had been 5 years since we had seen most of the people there,
Yeah.
which was so weird to see them again after so long. Um, but it was a nice time.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, it was tradition up until, this new thing. Now, I think this would actually be a good time to actually explain it to the audience because half of them probably don't really know what,
Secret Santa?
what, no, I mean, yeah, they do that. That's tradition. But then there was
Well, we
white
haven't
elephant.
told them what the tradition is.
Okay, uh,
How are they supposed to know what our family traditions are, Ricky?
it was not that important.
It is important because we usually do a Secret Santa, and then you get the gift for someone, and
Yeah.
then when you give it to them, someone always says, I had your name. She had your name. I had your name.
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory.
And but this year they decided we wanted to shake things up a little, and so we did a white elephant.
Yes.
And I think people know what white elephant is. I
Uh,
think that's a pretty common thing.
yeah, well, this is the first time I actually heard about it and actually participated in one.
I really liked that we did that because it kind of made it into like a game.
Yeah.
Like the present, getting the presents, it wasn't just getting a present, it was like an interactive little game. And I thought that that made it a lot more fun. I ended up with this little like Bluetooth speaker. It's like square and it's got like a disco ball on the top and it has lights and it lights up and the sound quality is not that good. They actually left the price tag on the box and it said $7. So I mean, and the price, the spending limit was I think 25 or 30, even they only spent $7, which is fine. It's just it's all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a fine gift. I don't know if I'll ever use it. I tried it out and then I realized how bad the sound quality was. So I put it back in the box and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe I'll give it to someone else next year. What
Uh,
did you end up with, Ricky?
well, the aforementioned two candles.
2 candles. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I don't really light up candles. I mean, just it's the candles are just right over there where that PS5 is, and that's about it. It's not really none of them are actually lit up. I'm not really a candle person, if you can not tell by now.
Not really a candle person. Okay.
You know?
I mean, candles are nice. I mean, the thing is, what can you even really get these days for $25? It's not like you're gonna get anything really nice.
I mean, there were some nice gifts out there.
Yeah, but I think that some of the really nice gifts were actually above the spending limit. Like someone brought in like a bunch of gift cards as the gift,
Yes.
and that was obviously more than $25. It was like $50 worth of gift cards.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, that was the hot gift that kept going around,
Yeah, I got stolen twice.
stolen twice, and we did a 2 time steal limit this time around. So someone did end up with that, ended up being the hot ticket item. My goal for next year, if we do it again, is to bring the hot ticket item.
Yes.
I want to have the gift that keeps getting stolen.
Okay.
And maybe I even end up back with it.
Yeah.
I steal the gift that I brought. Honestly, that might be a good little technique for White Elephant is you buy the gift that you want and then you don't put your name on it and then you steal it back. It just can't be, it has to be something really specific that only you can enjoy because if it's really good and anyone can use it, it'll get stolen from you.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something good just for you.
Wait a minute, didn't they already verify who got who before the game started?
No.
Guess when
My gift didn't have a name on it. I have no idea who gave it to me.
oh, I thought it was verified.
Yours had a name?
Not that I've seen.
So then how would anyone know that I brought the gift that I'm taking?
Maybe my memory's being a little fuzzy, but I'm pretty sure they actually verified. Well, some of them.
No, before we got started, they did a Secret Santa.
No. Before.
No, because my gift did not say who it was from, so I don't even know. Now, how will we rate this experience?
Okay, I would say a 10. I didn't really like it at first, but then, actually seeing it in action, it's actually pretty good.
There was also a dinner, and that was nice as well. Um, yeah, what else did we even do? It feels like it was already so long ago.
I mean, there are other family relatives who visited.
There were other relatives. We did go to a couple of houses, and that was nice as well.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I guess we could sum this up right now. Christmas 2024 out of 10.
Okay. I gotta say, this Christmas was actually way better than Christmases throughout the 4 years.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm gonna give it a 9.8.
Yeah, seems fair.
Doesn't get much better.
Nope. What was that? What was that movie?
I'm waving goodbye to the audience. How do you want to close off? Okay, that's ridiculous. Acting like you too cool for school. And that concludes our show for this episode of Take It With a Grain of Sand. Thank you so much for listening. And remember to always take it with a grain of sand.